Again, good morning. All these beautiful faces here in the room. It is so great to be here at Home of Truth today. And I was sharing with Kathy earlier, I've been with Terry for the past 3 Sundays at different centers, and I started this month at Agape Bay Area, and the second he was the singer there. And then my spiritual center, Oakland Center, him and his group were there last Sunday. So when I saw the schedule, I'm like, I have Terry again. So it's like I love the energy that he brings and just the calmness. And then Shazam, I've known Shazam for years, and just her playing and her energy is so amazing. And so that's the thing that kept, when Terry had asked me, he said, so what's your talk on? I said, well, actually, I'm going to keep the same talk that I had at Agape, because it's about frequency and being in that frequency of gratitude. Because when we're in that space of gratitude, there is such an amazing experience that happens. You can feel it within your body. So one of the things that Spirit gave me to do is a little exercise. And you all it's interactive. So you all get to play along today. How many of you remember the song, If You're Happy and You Know It, Clap Your Hands? Well, we're going to change the words a little bit in this. And I'm going to invite you all to stand up, and you're going to move around a little bit. We're only going to do maybe 2 stanzas of this first part for now. But it's, if you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, then your frequency will show it. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. So come on, stand up. We're going to we got to start working off that Thanksgiving dinner, okay? So, so it's like, work it off. So we ready? I'm not a singer, so Terry is like, it's like, hey, I'm not you, but I'll do my best. All right, we ready? Okay. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, then your frequency will show it. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, then your frequency will show it. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. Okay, now just have a seat and say, yes, woo! But yet, not yet. You're jumping ahead now, okay? But the thing that I know is that, so in that space of when you were singing that song, I invite you right now to close your eyes and just put your hands on your heart if you choose to. And just kind of feel into, when you were singing that, how did it shift your energy? How did it lift you up? And just be in that space. This is that place where, when we're in that place of gratitude, that there's an energetic that goes out into the world, and we can feel it within. You can open your eyes. One of the things that as I've been looking at gratitude, and I look at frequencies and I listen to frequency music, and what I came across was that there is a vibrational sound. It's 540 hertz. And this is a high vibration that puts you in a place of gratitude. And so I've been listening to this. I put it in my car, because sometimes I'll have some other music, but it's like just sound. And I've been playing this on my way to work before I get to work. And for those of you that don't know me, most of the faces here are brand new to me, and I'm grateful for this experience. So I work at a funeral home. So before I arrive, sometimes it's like I have to raise my vibration sometimes to step into this space in a place of gratitude. One, that I get to bring who I am to this experience. But then also for the people that I work with, a place of gratitude, because everybody's kind of going through something right now. And so I listen to this vibrational music. Even as I'm driving on the freeway heading to work, I can leave my house, I think, at the right and perfect time that I'll miss most of the traffic. Nah, it doesn't always happen. So so what do? I have my music on. Let me just listen to this music. And I have it blasted in my car sometimes, because the frequency from the sound, it really resonates in my body. And so by the time I get to work, I'm like, oh, we're going to do this and this. And when people tell me, say, well, yeah, you're going to have some difficult families. No, I'm not. But that's why they kind of put me on some of what may be the hard family cases sometimes, because they know my energy that I bring. And most of the time, by the time the service is over, people are my best friends and everything else. And I'm like, thank you. But I realize that I have to keep my vibration up. And this helps. The music helps me. But also remembering who I am, remembering the goodness that resides within me is always guiding me and moving me into the direction that I'm calling forth. And even when we think about things that are happening on our planet right now, it doesn't really feel good for a lot of people. But that when we get caught up in what's not happening or the things that are happening, it brings us down to a lower vibrational energy. And when we're operating from that place, we're operating from a place of what sometimes we call it lack, because sometimes we have a lack of time, we don't have enough time, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough resources. But when we're operating from that lower energy, it allows more of that same heavy energy to come into our space. And it allows us to get affected by some of the things that's happening. How many times have you watched the news and something crazy or terrible has come across, and then all of a sudden, whatever mood you might have been in before, it has shifted. It's like it's gone like really down. That's why a lot of times I don't even watch the news. I mean, you go online, you can find out everything that you want to go, that you want to experience what's happening in the world. I remember years ago, Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith at Agape in LA, he always mentioned that whenever you're watching the news, if you want to raise your vibration, go into prayer. Say a prayer about what's happening, what you're hearing. Because the thing is, when we embody this negativity that's happening in the world, it really starts affecting us. It affects our mind, it affects our bodies. It affects how we interact with other individuals around us. Many times when I get up in the morning, my partner and I, we get up and we'll be like, what are you grateful for this morning? And I ask people the same thing, say, what are you grateful for when you wake up? And sometimes people are like, well, I don't really have anything to be grateful for. And then I tell people, say, I'm having a conversation with you. You're standing here in front of me or sitting in front of me. You're awake, you're alive. That's something to be grateful for. Even if we start with the smallest thing of being grateful, just grateful that I'm opening my eyes this morning, I have a bed to sleep in, because not everybody can say that. That I have a roof over my head, I have food to eat, I have water that I can bathe in. Not everybody. You walk around, you drive around Oakland and other areas, even the Alameda in some areas, people don't have that, the same thing. How are we continuing to lift ourselves up so that we can be that beacon of light in the world? It's that space of being grateful just that you get to experience something brand new today. Be grateful that you get to bring your light to someone else that might be feeling a little low, or that somebody may come to you and may bring their light to help lift you up. There was something I was watching on, I think it was on Facebook, or it might have been on YouTube, one of the two. There's this guy that goes around, he has this sign, I think it's like in New York, and it's like, hugs, free hugs. And, it's like, and people will come up to him and say, and they'll give him a hug, because that sometimes is what people need to lift their vibration, because they're so low. They're feeling in pain or hurt or in grief, that sometimes to just give a person a hug can be something that that person may need, or that we may need as well. But there's an energetic that happens when we do that. When we lift up our vibration, when we walk into spaces, and it's not being arrogant, but it's like, I'm allowing my light to shine, because when I walk into this space, my light is going to shine brightly. Now, people may see it, they may feel something with that energy that they connect with, And sometimes it's like if people are in a dark space, they may kind of repel against you sometimes because they be like, no, your light is way too bright, okay? And no, what are you, they may not say it, but their energy will show that. And it's like you'll notice people kind of back away from you sometimes. And I realized that, and at one time when I started seeing that, it really started hurting my feelings. I'm like, why are these people like moving away from me? What did I do? But I realized that they weren't in a space to fully receive the light that I bring. And so I had to start thinking about, okay, I don't want to dim my light, but I also have to be aware of not everybody can receive that light. And the same thing may happen when you will walk into rooms and you don't know why someone is feeling like, ooh, get away from me. And why are you, nope, I don't want to sit next to you. No, you stay over there. But because your light is shining so bright, or you're walking in and your frequency is so high, or you're walking in and singing or dancing or something, and people are like, why are you so happy? Don't you know what's happening in the world? This world that we live in, I get to dictate how I'm going to show up in this world. We can't allow people to say, oh, you need to be sad, you need to be down, you need to, no. Allow yourselves to live that life of what lifts you up, to be able to walk through this world. There's a saying, it's like being in this world, but not of this world. You can be in this world, continue to allow your light, your frequency to lift up, but you don't have to get caught up in all the stuff that's happening in the world. It's not to say that everything that's happening is good, but there's a purpose sometimes for the things that are showing up right now. When there is a mass number of people that come together in prayer, in a high vibrational energy, there's a shift that happens. I remember Bishop Barber, he's out of North Carolina, and he had a lot of ministers that they went to DC a few months ago, and they went to be in prayer. And their prayer, there was something that broke something in the energetic that was there. But although he got arrested and a couple of other people did, but because their lights were shining so brightly and the people that were there, they wanted to stay in this low frequency energy. They didn't know what to do with them, so it's like, we're going to remove you because we don't want people to be uplifted. We want them to stay in this space. So we're going to remove you, take you to jail, and then we're going to keep on moving with our agenda. The thing is, don't allow anyone to dim your light, to lower your frequency. Because when you allow that to happen, then you start falling into what others dictating who you are, how you show up. We're all created by spirit. Even the ones that are doing the negative work, speaking the negative words, we're all created by spirit. How we choose to act in the world, that's on us. We get to choose how we want to show up. Sometimes, people will say that there's it's like, well, my parents trained me to do this, or they taught me how to speak to people this way, or how to see people in this way. When we talk black, white, race issues, sexual orientation issues, whatever, it's like people's parents start learning, like, this is not good. You shouldn't do that. Why are you doing that? Why are you acting this way? Be who you are. I am being who I am. What's the problem? But the thing is that when people don't understand the true essence of who they are, the God essence of who they are, that's when the division happens. There's that separation that happens, you against me, us against them. We have to be in this space right now to bring together this consciousness that we're only one. There's one thing only operating here, and that's God. Again, how people choose to respond and interact in the world, that's their choice. Because even if our parents have taught us these things that may feel negative or feel heavy or separate us, we still get to choose Are you going to listen to what your parents have taught you, or are you going to listen to what's residing with you in your heart? And so for a number of years, it's like years ago, I realized I'm from DC, and so I had to move away from my family many years ago because there's a lot of toxic energy. But what I realized is that Spirit moved me away from them in order for me to be able to do what I came here to do. And I realized that if I continue to stay in that environment, I may not be doing what I'm doing now. I may not have gone to ministerial school or, the spiritual work that I've done. I've served 26 years in the Army. I may not have, I did that one to get away from my grandmother. But that was a blessing for me as well, because it actually allowed me to be able to see people from all parts of the world and to learn different cultures and to learn people's thinking. But it got to a point for me that vibration of the military was no longer serving me. And no matter how much I would stand in formation, and they would say this motto and creed, and there was something within me, it's like, I'm not saying that. It doesn't resonate with me anymore. When I started this spiritual path, certain things just did not resonate. And that may be happening with you all. It's like things may not resonate with you that may have resonated before. What frequency are you living from? It's like when you get up in the morning, think about the song that we just did. It's like, if you're happy and you know it, if you're grateful and you know it, if you're happy, whatever it is, start with that. Put some music on in the morning to shift your energy. Because when we do that, sometimes I've learned, it's like, I'll put some music on, and sometimes I'll put meditation music on, but then sometimes I have to go to some Motown music or something else that kind of gets me going in the morning as I'm preparing for the day. And it's just like, okay, what am I listening to? What am I hearing? And there's a tune that comes. I'll go find it on YouTube or something, and I put it on. It's like, and it's blasting in the house. I'm just, yeah, there you go. Okay, it's like I'm getting ready. And that shifts my mood because I start thinking about, what do I have to do? What's on my to-do list for today? And some things on my to-do list, and it's like, I really don't want to do this. God, give me strength to get through this day. But then that's when the music comes and it lifts me up and puts me in a different direction. Because what I look at is, I get to do these things. I get to do these things that are on my list. I get to go and spend time with families. I get to interact with new people that, are part of my team, or I get to interact with people that are different than I am. I get to do these. And so that's another thing that helps to lift that frequency. What is it that you get to do when you wake up in the morning, even when you leave from here today? What is it that you get to do? What can you do to help lift up your frequency? Sometimes it's like people, I've seen, now back in, it's like for a number of us, growing up in DC, younger people, they used to do jump rope, but then it would be double dutch. I can never do double dutch. I was like, every time, it's like, okay, I get the little stands. But the thing is, like, people have so much fun when they go into that space, because sometimes person that might be turning one end of the rope, you might not can stand that person. But then you get into the rope and you start going with the rhythm and the movement. I don't know why Spirit is giving me this, but okay, we're going with it. But there's a movement and there's a frequency, and it's like, and people are like bouncing around, dancing in the ropes and everything. And I'm like, how do they do that? It's like, you know what, I'm not trying it, but when they come out, there's a different energy about them as well. You never think about, like with jumping double dutch, that, oh yeah, you think that's for kids. No, you see a whole lot of adults out here doing the same thing, because it brings them up, it lifts them up, and there's a joy in that. So think about what brings you joy. Regardless of what anyone may say, it's like, oh no, why are you doing that? You don't need to do it. You're too old to be doing that. And like, no, what brings you joy? Do that. Do more of what brings you joy, because when that happens, it brings up your frequency. And when it brings up your frequency, there's an energetic that happens within you that your cells start opening up and starts receiving that joy, that frequency. There's a healing that happens in your body. I remember reading a story before about this guy. He had been diagnosed with cancer, and it was terminal cancer, and they said, you only had like 3 months to live. He checked himself into a hotel room. He turned on cartoons, and he watched cartoons and laughed and laughed and laughed. Now, this is how the story goes. I don't know the person, personally, but this is how the story goes. And there was such an energetic shift within his body. When he went back to his doctor, they could not find any cancer in his body. When we are holding on to low vibrational energy, it weakens us. It weakens our cells. When we're running around mad at the world or mad at our relatives or whomever, we're holding on to that energy. So imagine you're holding on to this. You're hurting yourselves. We're hurting our own selves when we're holding on to the pain and suffering within ourselves. We have to find ways to release that. Because the thing is, because if we hold on to more anger within, it has to find a way to get released. Sometimes it's released in anger, destruction that happens, but there has to be a way in order for us to lift our vibration. Go watch cartoons. Even if you think that it's like, I'm not doing cartoons. Watch cartoons. Some of the old ones that you used to watch when you were kids. It's like, it is so funny to watch some of these things now, and it's like, and just really just get a laugh, because there's something that shifts that energetic when you laugh, that it opens you up. It allows you to receive something different than that negative energy that you may have been watching or receiving or hearing about. So I think am I coming close to, I had my timer on, but I think something happened, so. I follow spirit, and I find myself that I'm not always listening like I'm supposed to at times, because there are certain things I'm like, oh yeah, I got this. And then somebody comes along and it's like, and it makes me mad or something. That's like, then I have to catch myself and say, Deb, take a breath. They're being who they are. So it allows me to be able to, one, see what of them is triggering me. There's something within me that's being triggered by something that they've said or something that they've done. So this is something I'm going through now. And so I want to have a conversation with the person that I'm feeling this energetic from. But I realize I have to get my mind in a different place, because I will come from this place of being defensive rather than being open to listen. So before I have a conversation, it's like, let me get some music going or something, put some headphones on before I walk in, but also to center what's within me that's being triggered, and allow myself to be able to, when it's revealed, say, oh, that's what it is. They remind me of my mother. They remind me, whatever it might be, because when you ask, Spirit was going to give it to you. Be open to listen. And then walk into any situation of what's happening. And to be in this place of absolute gratitude. I'm grateful to be here with you all today, and for this opportunity to, and live streamers, hi to you all as well. Grateful to be here with you all. And, as we're moving into a brand new year, if people are into numerology and stuff like that, 9 is a year of completion. Next year is a 1 year. You add up 2026. New beginnings, new opportunities to show up, to do something different. Check it out. Because I was thinking, it's like whatever needed to come up to the surface is happening in this year. All of these things that's coming up, all the muck that's happening, is all coming to the surface, because it's time for this to end. And it's time for a new beginning. It starts with us. How are we going to show up and create a new beginning, a new opportunity? Come from this place of gratitude. So before I end, I want you all to stand up again because we're going to do this song. We are going to add a couple of more little stanzas to it as well. So we're going to do, if you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands, and then let's see. What else do we want to add? If you're grateful and you know it, what else you want to add? Stomp your feet? Okay, what else you want to add? Okay, all right. We'll do four of them, okay? All right, so that was 3. One more. What else we have? And live streamers, you all need to do this too. Just because your cameras are not on, you can do this also, okay? We won't laugh at you, okay? All right, so what else we're going to do? We're going to start with the hand clap. We ready? Okay. If you're happy, if you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, then your frequency will show it. If you're grateful and you know it, clap your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're grateful and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're grateful and you know it, then your frequency will show it. If you're grateful and you know it, stomp your feet. If you're grateful and you know it, wiggle your hips. If you're grateful and you know it, wiggle your hips. If you're grateful and you know it, then your frequency will show it. If you're grateful and you know it, wiggle your hips. If you're grateful and you know it, wave your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, wave your hands. If you're grateful and you know it, then your frequency will show it. If you're grateful and you know it, wave your hands. Yes! Thank you. So just in that, you all can be seated in that moment, in this space and time right now, how grateful I am that we get to go into prayer. That we get to take all of the energetics that we've just experienced into prayer. Knowing that right where we are, God is. God is everywhere present, within us, all around us, lifting and holding us up right here and right now. The birds that we see outside, the squirrels that are happening, the trees that are around us, the ground that we walk on, it's all God. And what we know is that we get to bring our energy, our frequency to each of these places. Because when we're moving from this place, this frequency of God, oh my gosh, hold on, because amazing things happen over and over and over again if we allow ourselves to just see and know and believe that this is possible. I'm grateful for this time that we have come here together in this room, online, for this love, for this peace, for this joy that God has brought these individuals here into this space right now. Trusting and knowing that their hearts is lifted just a little bit higher right now, and they get to take this energy out into the world. Those individuals that are on Zoom right now, that they get to take this energy into the next activity of what they're doing, whatever it is that is in their plans for today. We get to come from this place of gratitude, giving thanks for everything that we get to do, everything that we have, everything that is around us. Because in that frequency of gratitude, we just continue to go high and higher and higher. And it allows us to just open up to more goodness, more love, more joy, more peace. So I'm just grateful for this time, knowing that who we are is God. How we move in this world is God. That we are pieces of God. And that we greet each person seeing the face of God wherever we go. I'm grateful for this time, for this frequency that continues to lift me up and hold me up, even when in those times that I may feel down. I get to remind myself of who I am and whose I am. Grateful for the breath. Grateful for this year that has brought us to this right now moment. And in this right now moment, we get to speak into the room that we are grateful for. And just know that it goes out into the world. I'm grateful for love, grateful for peace, grateful for family and community. So just knowing how good it is to know that the prayers that are on your heart, that as you send those prayers out into the universe right now, that they're already being answered. You might not see the answers to the prayers in this right now moment, but trust and believe that the prayers are being answered. Because God is not a God that says no. Knowing that your words that go out, that they cannot return to you void, that they must come back in the way that we may not understand, we may not even see, but the prayers are answered. Hold on to that. Trust that. Know that that is already done in the mind of God. That we just get to fall back into the arms of God, knowing that God has us every step of the way. Regardless of what we may be experiencing in this now moment, be it health, financial, be it whatever it is that's showing up. Trust spirit within you. Go to spirit within you. Ask, what is mine to do? And be open to the answer. So I just give thanks for this prayer, knowing that it is done in the mind of God. And I just lovingly release this, knowing that it is so. And in this, I just anchor this prayer, and I invite you to anchor this prayer with me, and so it is. Blessed be. Amen.